There is a glitch in the Miami skyline. It is the only property on Earth designed to be invisible from Google Earth in real time. While Jeff Bezos builds a fortress to be seen, Elon Musk is spending $300 million to be unrenderable. Welcome to the ghost of North Bay Road. In Miami, scores aren't settled in court, they are settled by outbuilding the person next door. Musk is building a property with a literal kill switch for its own visibility, a house that can vanish on command. But this isn't just about privacy. It's about a house that can physically vanish from your screen while you're looking right at it, but we'll get to the how in a moment. We are witnessing a silent war sweeping the coast, fought not with weapons, but with blueprints and glass. This is the first ever land grab between sovereign billionaires, titans who have transcended rich to become global powers in their own right. This isn't just a house, it is a total digital erasure. It is a structure that literally blinds itself if a drone gets too close, proving that in an era where satellites can scan your dinner plate, the ultimate luxury isn't the view, it's being unrenderable. This digital blackout is funded by the greatest concentration of wealth in human history. The man building it calls the project a prophecy, and in Miami, if you know his history, you know he doesn't miss. This isn't just money, it's the weight of an empire pressing down on a single North Bay Road foundation. Look at the staggering numbers as of May 2026. Elon Musk has become the wealthiest individual in history, commanding $840 billion following the massive valuations of SpaceX and XAI. He is followed by Jeff Bezos at $275 billion and Mark Zuckerberg at $225 billion. Combined, these three men control over $1.3 trillion in private wealth, a sum larger than the GDP of most nations. They are no longer just citizens, they are empires. And in Musk's world, being found is a failure. This is the birth of the invisible empire. To put that into perspective, the combined bank accounts of these three individuals represent roughly 5% of the entire United States GDP. In the last fiscal quarter, Musk's net worth alone surpassed the market cap of the entire S&P 500 energy sector. Elon Musk could personally buy every oil rig and pipeline in America, and still have enough left over to build a private city in Miami. When one man has that much firepower, the word rich loses its meaning. We are talking about the privatization of the future. If these three men were a single nation, they would be the 15th largest economy on Earth, wealthier than the entire GDP of nations like Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, or Turkey. Musk needs this level of erasure because his wealth has moved beyond rich into the realm of sovereign power. Wait, it gets crazier. While we're looking at spreadsheets, they're looking at perimeters. In early 2026, the city approved the first ever private drone no-fly zone for Indian Creek. These aren't just neighborhoods, they are becoming gated microstates. Bezos isn't just buying a backyard, he's buying a sovereign buffer zone. This house isn't just high-end real estate, it is literally being wired into the owner's brain. Jeff Bezos fired the first shot, spending $234 million to assemble a three-mansion empire on the Billionaire bunker island. Just weeks ago, Mark Zuckerberg retaliated, dropping $170 million on a record-breaking limestone fortress just 3 doors down. But while they fight for the island, a third shadow has appeared. Elon Musk, the man who claimed he would own no house, was just rumored to have landed a helicopter in the middle of Biscayne Bay to survey a $300 million ghost mansion at 5940 North Bay Road. While his rivals are playing a game of visibility, Musk is playing a game of erasure. This isn't about vanity, it's about becoming a ghost in the machine. But to understand the scale of what Musk is trying to outbuild, you have to see the fortress his rival is using to defend the bay. Check out my deep dive into Zuckerberg's Billionaire bunker island. It's the only way to realize that in this game, $100 million is just the entry fee. $300 million. That's for the man who wants to own the horizon. This is a property that hides from the math. Insiders claim the roof isn't just painted. It's coated in a proprietary polymer that scatters LiDAR pulses, making it a digital blind spot in the middle of paradise. But if you check the official 2026 Miami zoning permits right now, This house doesn't exist. It's registered as a temporary utility structure, $300 million for a shed. That is the first lie this property tells you. No listing, no marketing, and if you fly a drone too close, the house literally blinds itself. It's a military-grade disappearing act for the world's most powerful man and modern-day kingmaker. The world calls it a ghost, but the records call it 5940 North Bay Road. While most billionaires are looking for a home, this buyer is looking for a headquarters. The developer hasn't confirmed a name, but when Musk's involvement is mentioned, he doesn't deny the mystery, he embraces it with a smile. It fits the profile. If Musk is indeed the ghost behind this glass, he isn't looking for a bedroom. He's looking for a vacuum chamber of absolute silence. This mansion is a structure so secretive, so aggressively ambitious, that it almost shouldn't exist, and yet, right now, behind closed gates and silent cranes, it's rising. Workers say construction sometimes continues late into the night, lights glowing behind tarps, machinery humming in the dark. It feels less like a build site and more like a secret being assembled. Standing there, even from the public road, I felt something I can't quite explain, that quiet, instinctive sense that you're looking at something you're not supposed to witness. Not as a home, but as a symbol. A challenge. A gravitational pull for the kind of people who don't chase luxury. They chase the unattainable. But to build a ghost, you first have to clear a grave. But before the developer broke ground, this sand belonged to a man who destroys everything he touches. This plot has a memory, and it starts with Dmitry Rybolovlev. Rybolovlev is a man whose real estate deals spark headlines and geopolitical speculation. He doesn't just buy houses, he erases them. He famously paid Donald Trump $95 million for the Maison de l'Amity in Palm Beach, only to never move in and bulldoze the entire estate into the dirt. It's a pattern of creation and demolition that haunts this coast, a cycle where the world's most expensive homes are built just to be destroyed. This isn't just a plot of land. It's a stage where global wealth has been quietly trading hands for over a decade. Long before billionaires circled it, the land was part of a quiet legal war. Miami Beach once tried to claim sections of North Bay Road for public shoreline access, and the wealthy residents fought back with lawyers, influence, and political pressure. Even then, this strip of waterfront wasn't just real estate. It was territory. Miami Beach has a quiet curse. Some of its most ambitious mansions have remained unfinished for years, trapped in lawsuits, zoning purgatory, or billionaire feuds. Locals joke that the land itself decides which projects survive. Some old Miami families even say the Bay remembers. That it rewards ambition but punishes arrogance. And every time a new mega mansion rises, people watch to see which one the water will take back. But the Bay has a short memory when $300 million is on the table. There is a sound the wind makes when it passes through a house with no windows. It's a low, ghostly hum that makes the structure feel like it's actually breathing, a vibration that reminds you this isn't just a building, it's a living organism. That silence. That's the sound of $300 million waiting for its owner. On North Bay Road, when the tide is high, workers say the unfinished frame breathes. It's not just the wind, it's the vacuum of so much empty space waiting to be filled by a single ego. Most homes are built to invite the world in. This one feels like it's holding its breath, bracing for an impact that hasn't happened yet. It doesn't sit on the land, it haunts it. If that's true, it changes everything. Because a man who famously sold all his worldly possessions doesn't buy a $300 million mansion unless he isn't looking for a home. And in that moment, the house became something else entirely, a mystery wrapped in money, ambition, and the psychology of the ultra-rich. Real estate insiders say the most serious buyers don't appear in person at all. They move through shell companies, trusts, and offshore entities, shadows negotiating with shadows. In this world, money doesn't move, it hides. Ownership becomes a maze, and the person at the end of it is often the one you least expect. In Miami's ultra-luxury market, the buyer is often the last thing revealed. If it sells anywhere near that number, it won't just break Miami's price record, it will obliterate it. by almost double. I'm not here to show you a mansion. I'm here to understand why the richest people on Earth are obsessed with something they can't have. Because this house isn't for sale. It isn't being shown. It isn't being marketed. The developer says it will appear out of thin air when it's finished, a $300 million apparition. And that's the first pattern interrupt. In a world where everything is advertised, promoted, and optimized for attention, the most desirable object is the one you're not allowed to see. North Bay Road, where this mansion sits, isn't a street anymore. It's a battleground. A scoreboard. A place where billionaires measure themselves not by what they own, but by what they can outbid, outbuild, or outmaneuver. Zuckerberg just closed on a record-breaking $170 million billionaire bunker mansion on Indian Creek, just across the water. Zuckerberg is digging in, but as you're about to see, Musk is building a watchtower that can see everything and be seen by no one. But 5940 North Bay Road is building upward. It is a clash of philosophies, the bunker versus the watchtower. One hides from the world. The other stands 17 feet above the flood zone, daring the world to look, then blinding it the moment they do. Hedge fund titans are migrating. Tech founders are fleeing Silicon Valley's gravity. Miami has become the new frontier, permissionless, sun-drenched, and competitive in a way that feels almost primal. But at night, Miami tells a different story, one of shadows, secrets, and fortunes moving quietly through the dark. In the last 5 years alone, Miami has seen a 38% surge in ultra-high net worth residents, one of the fastest migrations of concentrated wealth in modern US history. Hedge funds are moving headquarters. Tech founders are buying waterfront compounds under LLCs. The city isn't just growing, it's transforming. Cities evolve the same way people do, through pressure, ambition, and the desire to be seen. Because pressure doesn't just change cities, it changes people. You don't need billions to understand the weight of ambition, you just need a pulse. And then there's Todd Michael Glazer, the developer behind this mansion. Some people build homes. Glazer builds statements. And this isn't his only statement. Glazer is simultaneously constructing multiple ultra compounds across Miami Beach, each one bigger, stranger, and more ambitious than the last. It's as if he's not building houses, but a new mythology of Miami wealth. One property at a time. He bought the original 1936 mansion for $105 million, flipped it, then decided flipping wasn't enough. He wanted to create something unprecedented. Something that would drive billionaires crazy. To protect the project's privacy, Glazer quietly acquired small adjacent parcels, not to build on them, but to control the sightlines. In the world of the ultra-rich, privacy isn't a feature. It's a perimeter. Something that would make even Elon Musk pause. When he talks about the project, he doesn't describe it like a house. He describes it like a prophecy. There is no product like it. It will be the most amazing house. And you can tell he believes it. There's a particular look developers get when they talk about the one project that will define them, a mix of pride, fear, and something close to obsession. Glazer has that look. The mansion itself is a fortress disguised as art. A 31-car garage not for storage, but for identity. It isn't a parking lot, it's a climate-controlled auto gallery reinforced with carbon fiber plates to hold the weight of armored fleets. This one is engineered like a vault. Reinforced concrete, specialized ventilation, and temperature-controlled zones. The kind of infrastructure designed for hypercars worth more than private jets. A glass-heavy design, transparency as a flex when you have nothing to fear. And the glass. It's a living pupil. The glass skin acts like a living pupil, dilating and darkening to keep the interior in a perpetual state of museum-grade cool. This transparency shields the server stacks and AI data centers humming within. Rumors from the site suggest the home's VAC and security are managed by a localized XAI Grok node. It's a house that thinks. It anticipates the owner's biometric stress levels and adjusts the lighting, the temperature, and the transparency of the glass before they even walk through the door. It's not a smart home, it's a living extension of the owner's nervous system. That transparency is an illusion. The moment an unauthorized drone or vessel breaches that invisible line, the glass instantly shifts from crystal clear to a void like Vanta-black. In a heartbeat, the house blinds itself. Imagine looking at a crystal palace that suddenly turns into a hole in the universe, a Vanta-black void that refuses to reflect even a single photon of light. But the most chilling detail isn't what the house hides, it's what it hears. That control extends to the very air inside. The central atrium is rumored to be shaped like an acoustic mirror, a whispering gallery engineered with such precision that the owner, standing in the master suite, can hear a conversation in the kitchen 3 floors below with perfect clarity. In a world of high-stakes NDAs and shifting loyalties, it's a house built for a man who trusts no one and intends to hear everything. This isn't just high-tech, it's designed to mess with your senses. A rooftop garden, nature as a luxury commodity. But the greenery serves another purpose: drone privacy. In a world where anyone can fly a camera over your home, the ultra-rich are turning nature into camouflage. Some neighbors claim drones that fly too close lose signal or drop from the sky. Whether from interference or something more intentional, no one knows. But in Miami's billionaire enclaves, privacy is enforced like airspace. There are even rumors that the rooftop foliage is arranged to reduce thermal signatures, a trick borrowed from military architecture, now repurposed for privacy. Elevation 17 feet above the flood zone, a home engineered to outlive storms. Florida's insurance market is in a death spiral, but for 5940 North Bay Road, insurance is an afterthought. This structure is self-insured through a captive offshore entity. When the sea rises, the city waits for a payout. The billionaire simply orders more concrete. Its elevation isn't just structural, it's symbolic. A quiet acknowledgement that the ultra-rich are preparing for a future the rest of the world still debates. But the most aggressive flex isn't what's happening above the water, it's what's happening beneath it. Local dive teams claim the weight of this concrete vault is so immense it's actually compressing the Florida limestone. At night, they say you can hear the shelf groan. Pause for a second. Imagine spending $300 million on a house that nature is actively trying to swallow. It's a $300 million wager against nature itself. This isn't just an architectural flex, it's a direct challenge to the elements. Take the hurricane-resistant technology, this isn't about comfort, it's about resilience. Several of the engineers involved have backgrounds in aerospace structural design, the kind of people who normally work on aircraft fuselages, not living rooms. It's a strange overlap, a house built with the same logic as a spacecraft. Every feature is a metaphor for the psychology of the ultra-rich, the need to be untouchable, unshakable, unchallenged. Some insiders say the structure is being engineered to withstand storms stronger than anything currently on the hurricane scale, a quiet admission that the future may be more violent than the past. During summer storms, the half-built structure stands against sheets of rain like a skeleton defying the sky. Lightning flashes behind it, illuminating the outline of a house preparing for a future the rest of the city isn't ready for. Watching it in the lightning, it almost feels like the house is being tested by the sky itself, as if nature wants to know who this fortress is really being built for. And somewhere in the middle of all this ambition, all this secrecy, all this engineered perfection, there's a shadow that keeps appearing in the story. A man who is both the hero and the villain of his own legend. A man who divides the world simply by existing in it. Why would a man who famously sold all his homes, who said possessions weigh you down, be circling a $300 million compound? Maybe the paradox is the point. Musk has always lived at the intersection of worship and outrage. To some, his Prometheus bringing fire. To others, his Icarus flying too close to the sun. But the truth is simpler and stranger. He is a man who builds futures faster than he can live in them. A minimalist who builds rockets, a futurist obsessed with ancient myths, a man who rejects possessions yet collects companies like artifacts. For someone like him, contradiction isn't a flaw. It's a signature. People imagine billionaires as decisive, calculated, unshakable. But I've learned that certainty is a myth. Even the most powerful people live with doubts they never speak about. The difference is that when they hesitate, the world watches. When they stumble, the world reacts. Their humanity isn't smaller, it's just more exposed. For Musk, this isn't about comfort. It's about a counterweight to chaos. When your daily life involves explosive rocket tests and global market swings, you don't need a bedroom, you need a sanctuary of absolute, engineered silence. Maybe he sees this house not as a home, but as a statement about the future he believes he's building. Some insiders whisper that the plans include a private data center, a climate-controlled, server-dense room designed for AI systems, crypto storage, or whatever the future demands. A house built not just for living, but for computing. And there's another layer, legacy. As billionaires age into their myth-making years, they start building monuments, not to be lived in, but to be remembered by. Even a man planning to die on Mars might want a throne on Earth because behind the headlines and the noise, there's still a person, one who wakes up tired, makes mistakes, second-guesses decisions, and wonders, like anyone else, what all of this is ultimately for. Because every myth, no matter how cosmic, eventually circles back to the same human questions. Where do I belong? What do I control? And what will remain when I'm gone? Musk's life has always been a collision between the man he is and the myth he's become, a figure pulled between genius and chaos, vision and volatility, ambition and isolation. This mansion, if he truly is orbiting it, might be the rare place where those two versions of him briefly meet. A moment where the architect of rockets and revolutions confronts something far older than technology. The ancient human desire for a throne, a sanctuary, a place that outlives the person who built it. Zoom out, and the mansion becomes more than a building. It becomes a signal. A declaration that the center of gravity in America is shifting. That Miami is no longer a playground, it's a power map. A place where ambition comes to tan, compete, and reinvent itself. And this house, hidden behind scaffolding and silence, is the crown jewel of that transformation. Its completion date isn't random. Developers are timing it to land exactly when Miami's next ultra-luxury boom is predicted to peak, a moment when global wealth is expected to shift again. In 2 years, the mansion will reveal itself. No marketing, no listing, no warning. Behind the scenes, though, a different game is being played. Brokers say the developer has quietly floated the concept to fewer than 10 people on Earth, individuals whose net worths begin with a B and whose identities rarely appear in headlines. In this tier of wealth, buying a property isn't always about desire. Sometimes it's about denial, acquiring something simply so a rival can't. It will simply appear, a $300 million monument to secrecy, ambition, and the psychology of the ultra-rich. There are also whispers of a panic suite, not a room, but an entire self-contained living space designed for security, privacy, and survival. A reminder that extreme wealth doesn't eliminate fear. It amplifies it. And when it does, the world will ask who it was built for. Because every time I think about this mansion, I keep coming back to the same thought. Some buildings don't just house people, they expose them. But maybe the better question is this: was it built for a billionaire? Or for an era? And as I stand here, looking at this unfinished giant, I realize something. The mansion isn't the only thing under construction. We all are. Let's take a breath. Because beyond the concrete and the $300 million price tag, there is a question we all have to answer. Every one of us is building something, a life, a legacy, a version of ourselves we hope will outlast the noise inside our own heads. We obsess over these walls because they represent the ultimate human paradox. We spend our whole lives trying to become someone, only to realize that the more famous you become, the more you have to pay to disappear. This mansion isn't a home. It's the world's most expensive disappearing act. At Richest Billionaires Homes, we believe every brick tells a story of a life well lived. We don't just show you floor plans, we show you the vision it took to draw them. If you're busy building your own legacy, subscribe. Let's look at the next blueprint together. You see, we don't just showcase properties, we sell a dream. Our mission is to narrate the lifestyle, the vision, and the legacy behind every billionaire's home. We believe in tell, don't just show, because every space deserves a voice. The original stories we share here aren't found anywhere else on YouTube or social media. That is our brand guarantee. These scripts are crafted by real people to inspire, captivate, and elevate your imagination. Because a home is more than an address, it's an identity.